Wassalamu alaikum everybody. Welcome back to Let's Level Every Class, the World of Warcraft War Within series featuring our Paladin Heroine Femme Fatale Vlera, Blood Elf. Thank you all so much for joining in episode 4 now. I cannot believe it is episode 4. Journeying into the Ghostlands. Marhaban bikum fi aradi al-shba. I'm butchering that a little bit. Very rough translation, basically to welcome to the Ghostlands. We got trolls, we got spiders, we got ghosts, elementals, pretty much everything. You name it, we got it. This is going to be a long episode. I hope you all are just as excited as I am. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, this is episode 4 of the series. If y'all are so keen, and if y'all would like to, if this is just in case this is the first episode y'all are tuning in, on the top right corner of the screen, probably a little bit earlier before I'm saying this, probably around the 53-second mark, there's going to be a card that pretty much links you directly to the playlist, as well as in the comments, or sorry, not in the comments, in the description below will also be a direct link for this character's playlist. And again, I reiterate it many a times, but thank y'all so much for taking the time out of y'all's day to join in on this episode. We got a lot to do in the Ghostlands. The Ghostlands is jam-packed. Now, you may be sitting there saying, wait a minute, you're episode 20. What happened in between? Well, here's some things. So I accidentally started killing the spider dudes, which are pretty much in, I think they're up on the hill a little bit. We were killing the spider dudes, I was hunting them, and what I didn't realize is that while I was doing that recording session, I went back just to check it before I continued forward. I'd take a break, get some tea, go for a walk, go for a run, just take a little bit of a breather. Come back, check the footage, and turns out the audio was actually messed up a little bit. Which really surprised me because that's rare. But technical difficulties do happen. Y'all didn't really miss much. It was really, quite literally, it was less than 5 minutes worth of footage. Give or take. More like 7 minutes, 7.5. So it really wasn't a whole lot. But now we are hunting these trolls. Now what's interesting about the Blood Elf storyline, and specifically in the Ghostlands, is we have trolls here, right? We have trolls, and then we're gonna venture into the crypts, going off on our little Tales from the Crypts, Tales from the Crypt, if y'all remember that show. Good show. We have these guys. We raid the crypt a little bit. We're gonna save, I believe, a Blood Elf compadre who's down there, who's trapped. We're gonna save her, and that's just gonna link into a boatload of quests. The Ghostlands, truly, every section. I think this is honestly when Blizzard really started to hone in on quests and how to make each section of an area make sense. So what I mean by that is, on the coastline, we're obviously going to have the Murlocs. Again, when do we never? But on the one side of the map where we're currently located, we have the trolls. Then we've got to go into the crypt. Then we come out of the crypts. Then we go up to the more... we go search for Sylvanas' trinket. Well, that's optional, really, but it's really cool that you do. There's something very special that if we do that, and amazing after all this time I still remember. That's like one defining thing of the Ghostlands that I remember. Are these older troll models too? Like reused older troll models? Because they do not look even remotely close to the ones that are playable. These look like some older dudes, not the Arathi Highlands ones from like Classic Anniversary, but the other, like, it just looks like an older one. But regardless, I hope wherever your journey is currently taking you in Azeroth, I hope y'all are having just as much of a wonderful time as I am. Regardless of whether you're playing retail, classic anniversary, seasons of discovery, era, Cataclysm classic, soon to be MOP, there's just so much WoW content to consume. I sincerely hope y'all are having just as much fun as I am. The renaissance of WoW, renaissance period, because it truly is. So one thing that I definitely want to very briefly touch on while we're killing all these Shadowpine dudes. See, I told y'all, y'all didn't really miss much on the little footage that was lost. Y'all didn't miss much. And our blue chocobo, Immortal Nova, dude's been putting in work. I gotta honestly, I wonder what the upgraded version of these guys are. And look how beautiful this is. You see this scenery? The lake itself is phenomenally gorgeous. Oh, phenomenally, oh my goodness. It's gorgeous, y'all. It's really, really gorgeous. But one thing I definitely want to briefly touch on is, so in the series, when a character, like for this leveling series, right? Once a character hits 80, what's the next step further for that character? Like, do I plan on continuing to play out every character that I start? Is this series effectively ending once they hit 80? You know, what's the scoop? So here's my thought process. I do not like leaving projects untouched. If I start something, I have to finish it. I have to. There's no way I'm not going to. And with that being said, my thoughts, my little goal, I guess, is trying to find how to manage all of the characters, because there's going to be a lot of them, and giving them each a balanced amount of time and not leaving one in the dust necessarily, or completely forgetting about one. Now, ultimately, is there going to be a few characters where I may not play them as often once they hit 80? Probably, sure. But definitely going to touch at least delving on pretty much almost all the characters they're going to get, whether on screen or off screen. They're going to be delving. The War Within, the actual like storyline and such, we're gonna have to do. Vlera's definitely going to be doing that, because as a paladin, I need to. I have to. It's an obligatory requirement, because otherwise, how am I going to learn how to tank things on a much harder scale? And there's just so much to do. So like, Malachiel, her journey will continue. We're actually going to see her twice. Once as the human warrior right now currently, and then two as the Forsaken Mage. So a little bit of lore there. Well, my self-created lore, I guess. Vlera, her story is going to continue. She's definitely, a lot of y'all really love Blood Elves. It's either y'all love Blood Elves or y'all love Paladins, or both. But the Paladin series has been doing very well, so she's absolutely going to continue. I'm sure y'all are going to be very interested to see how I handle much harder content later on, because this is just the easy stuff. So going a little bit further ahead, there's on the horizon, without looking too far. And see, I learned my lesson. After Malachiel drowning and everything, I remember to keep an eye on that. A little meter. But needless to say, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to just play other characters and learn every class. Now, will we be touching every spec of the class, or staying strict? That's another question I'm sure some of y'all are gonna think, or gonna have. And ideally, because like Malachiel, Fury, Vlera, Prot, pretty much gonna stay specific to the spec. Now, come delving and everything else, that could slightly change, but we're probably going to stay specific, and there's a reason for that. The method to the madness there is stay specific and stay true to what it is. And that way, those that are viewing and potentially anybody that comes across these videos in the future, they can really get a really good, strong sense of, okay, this is what it's like leveling in this spec. One can truly say this channel is becoming like a pseudo Pokemon series where it's like we're going through every single Pokemon game and leveling all those different Pokemon and whatnot. Instead, we're just doing it in the World of Warcraft. So cool. I like it. I love it. I would really love to also be able to like give y'all guys like some access to some cool things. Like I have ideas of what I would do if this channel ever got membership access or any of that. I do have some general ideas as to what I would do, like to make the channel really stand out. Honestly, I hope the channel does stand out in terms of like the character animations, the intros, the outros, and everything. There's more coming, by the way. There's a lot more coming. But you know, inshallah, if this channel ever got the access to like do memberships or anything else like that, I would definitely have plenty of things planned. If you actually go into the channel page itself, I like how some of these ghosts are purple, by the way. And the channel banner has, well, it's Malachiel in every different, like 4 different classes. So there's like Warlock, Paladin, the channel icon, the main channel, the channel's, I guess, logo itself is of Malachiel and Paladin in tier 2. So I'm sure a lot of y'all caught on to that. And I have Malachiel in a chibi anime-esque version of every single like iconic piece of gear for every class. So those are there, and I would love to share that with y'all. Maybe get like a member, like different membership tier or whatever. I don't know. But that would be awesome because I used to utilize those for like guild members when I was running a guild on Classic Annie, and since the guild's disband, since the guild was terminated, I've been sitting on that. Something like, it'd be really cool to share this stuff with y'all. Plus all the animated emotes. Dude, I have a dancing Fairbanks, what is it? White Mane with her hat, Mo Crane, Herod all angry and everything. I'm sure some of y'all have seen these before, but how cool would it be?
Glory to the Sindorai. Shorelaran. The reckoning is at hand. We will have justice.
So yeah, everybody, as I said, there's a lot I have idea-wise, like conceptually, that I hope to be able to share with y'all, because this is just like stuff and all of this. Woohoo! That is cool. Mr. Aquarius. So this guy reminds me of the bigger water elemental dude, the one in Nomergan, but then there's also another one that in Classic Annie, I think it was by where the pirates were. I can't remember. I think it was just outside of Stranglethorn Vale, and you do a quest. I believe the chain starts in Thunderbluff, and then you go out and you take care of this like big water elemental. So either way, really cool. I love seeing like the bigger versions of these mobs because you get to see a little bit of the inner detail, like a little bit more detail, and just a little bit more of the animations and whatnot. It's just really cool. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking a little bit into, not too far into the future, but definitely thinking a little bit into the future about like what can make this channel stand out and make it improve even more. Because I'm always thinking about how I can improve, not just in terms of the education for the class, for the character, getting a bigger appreciation for Azeroth and everything else. You know, this appreciation for the game. Student of everything, so to speak. Jack of all trades, master of none, better than most. But we've completed our ghost buddy and his quests on the lake. Looks like we're going to start to delve a little bit further into, like I was saying earlier, the Tales from the Crypt for the trolls. Quite the fun times. Quite the fun times. Don't run, dude. Don't run. Come on. I know I had a hammer, but he stopped. I could have threw it, but all good. And please, if y'all have any constructive feedback as to what I can improve for playing, rotation later on, especially like ability rotations or any of that, you know, please, all feedback is held respectively. I take everything that y'all say pretty serious, so except when we're joking, we're just joking around. It's all good fun games, all good and fun. See, another one. He's running too, man. Starting to remind me of some of the trolls in ZG. But those guys don't run away from you, they run towards you. Oh, ZG. ZG, man. Heck yeah, now we're talking. Tales from the Crypt, this is my stuff, man. I don't know. I keep reiterating a little bit, but I'm a huge fan of survival horror, and this stuff is just, I live for it. My former home state had I think it was home to like the Weird series. I don't know if y'all remember those books, but they were like, it's like the weird aspects of like your individual state within, you know, the United States and everything. But I think my state was the home to like the originate and like how it all even originated. And I do miss my former, you know, my home state, the Garden State. I miss it a lot. So many weird things anybody can see. There's just so much history to it as well. I love it. Cool, I can climb up this hill. Path of least resistance? No, not today. Not for a Blood Elf. But I don't think I'm supposed to go in there. Judging from the map, y'all, it looks like we need to go fully in there. Fully in the Amani Catacombs. Catacombs. This would be a perfect spot to play like Tomb Raider OST. Or better yet, better yet. Play the OST track from RE1, like the original Resident Evil 1. On the underground, where like the boulder and everything is. The boulders and like the hunters and stuff. Oh, heck yeah, man. Little things like that make playing, like little things that you can correlate to other games. It just, so good. So good. Another thing that I haven't gotten to kind of say yet and really have a bigger appreciation for it than I originally did. Look at that trifecta, man. Heck yeah. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good toss. Got the headhunter over there. Didn't get him, but we got the 3. That was cool. That was like a triple. Almost want to overdub that little, clip it and put like a Halo, a triple kill or something like that. That'd be sick. But one thing I definitely have a bigger appreciation for, especially when we're like, when I'm here, now that I'm older, is like the Ghostlands. The background, the soundtrack is stellar. It really is, especially when like the violin really kicks in. You really develops a whole mood, and it really sets the pacing of like, not everything is pretty in Eversong Woods. Not everything is pretty in Silvermoon City. Like, Blood Elves are struggling right now, and the closest ally we have is a Forsaken. Closest ally we got, and we all know what, in a sense, what kind of happens further down the road, especially with Lordaeron. I'm hoping I get to see it before the whole Cataclysm and everything takes over. I really want to see the Undercity for everything that it is. Get to fly in and see the sewer, see, you know, Mr. What's-His-Name still selling the roaches and all the good stuff. Oh gosh, the Undercity, dude. Dude, the Undercity. Big smile on my face every time. Level 21, Bismillah. Almost done with the troll jujus. Let's go ahead and free our girl here. I'm gonna call you.
To all who oppose us.
Oh, looks like we unlocked Strathholm and Sunken Temple. Some really cool ones. I'd like to get a Sunken Temple run. That'd be cool. Blackrock Spire, I can kind of do without Blackrock, but I mean, maybe. Be a good one to tank, that's for sure. I'm gonna call this Chica over here. We're gonna nickname her Lara Croft. Who else journeys into the catacombs like this? Solo, no less. That's pretty ballsy there. These kind of Mayan tombs also remind me of Parasite Eve 2, and coming up on, it was like coming up in the end game of PE2. Another OST track that hits my mind is Man-Made Nature, which is one of my favorite survival horror tracks pretty much ever designed. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. What light? I mean, unless you're talking about the moonlight, but the moon beam would be pointing to a completely different direction. And yeah, we wouldn't have, I mean, it's not like the Eversong Woods light that kind of blinds you. Oh goodness, I completely forgot. We gotta burn these things. Oh goodness. Gosh. In my quest to get a lot of quests done, I was a little too fast. A little too fast for myself. Let's escort her. I believe she's gonna vanish in a second. I could be wrong. Well, she's definitely not gonna vanish now. We're gonna have to take care of him. In my haste to get quests done, dang, she's really, ooh, she's pissed. She went after that troll like nobody's business. May as well take care of him too, because he's definitely gonna aggro her. She's putting in the work, dude. She looks like she can break somebody's jaw, man. She's really pissed at these dudes. I'd be too if they held me captive and... Oh, an ambush. Come on. We just went through an ambush. Kind of. Nice. I'm glad you didn't get poisoned just now. Well, never mind, now you did. Not that smart, are you, gal? Jeez, she's pissed, man. Dude. Calm down. Just because you just got out of captivity, forceful captivity, does not mean we go around beating all the wildlife to a pulp. What did they do? They weren't a part of it. They weren't a part of all this. So we're gonna have to see her to the Enclave, which is fine. She's kind of home, not home sweet home, but I guess in a sense. But at least the cave entrance is not too far off. And I've got plenty of stuff to turn into. All for the sake of the Farstriders. Just in case y'all are wondering why I take so many screenshots in game, outside of the fact that, you know, outside of the whole thumbnail thing, and that's just kind of how we do it in terms of like getting thumbnails and everything, or getting interesting, like different shots. So 2 things why I do it. 1, I like to show my son all this stuff. So my son loves like dinosaurs and STEM related stuff, and anytime I can show him like video game related stuff, because I really want to expand his horizon a little bit and expand his imagination, because there's nothing greater than a child's imagination. So like when I was in Ungoro with Malakia, what I would do is I would screenshot, and by the time I get on to even play, like get on for the short amount of time that I can, little man's already in bed. So he would ask like the next day, especially because now it's summer vacation, right? So he would ask like, did you play the game? I'm like, yeah, here, let me show you, bud. So like any video recordings or like any screenshots I take in game, I always try to show him a lot of stuff, because I just feel like his imagination, I just want him to see his imagination blossom. Especially because I honestly think he's going to end up being like a doctor or something, and I'd be like, oh, thank goodness. Like all the hard work and struggle I did all my life. Thank goodness. Now you can be the, you know, I don't know, incredible breadwinner of the family, and you can go ahead and take care of your mom so I can get some peace and quiet. I jest, but there's some truth to that, but I jest. Oh, ambush. All right, y'all are just using your fists. I got a blade. We obviously know who wins in this argument, but I don't know, I'm sure some of y'all are fathers as well, or parents, and hopefully I think some of y'all probably do the same. It's just something cool when we see our child's our kids' expression, and they're just like, oh, whoa, that's so cool, and what is that, and wow, and just everything, and just I was a student of the arts when I was growing up. Like my mother made it a point to put like me and my sister in like the arts, so we were always in this something like theatrical, and then later on I did taekwondo, eventually got my black belt, so that was pretty cool. Did that all throughout high school before gaming really took over, like really took over, and I was doing like game battles and MLG and all this other stuff. Eventually World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 11, the years I spent on FF11, my goodness. And then the MMO addiction took over, and then everything kind of died down. Like I didn't play games for like I really didn't game a whole lot. The first time I did my university years, I really just kind of like took a break from all of that. And honestly, I think that made me a little more depressed. Like it's supposed to be like, you come at a point in your life when like, I'm sure we've all had the experience like where gaming is just not doing it for us. Like we're just not having as much fun as we used to. and we can't identify what it is outside of like, oh, like the modern games now feel the same or whatever the case may be. We feel that there's a void that we just cannot fill. There's nothing like the old school classics can fill. You know what I mean? Hopefully y'all do. But I went through that, and it's kind of an awkward time because I had nothing that like filled that void of like, what do I do? Like I need to do something. A man needs a hobby, y'all. I don't care if it's gardening, blacksmithing, woodworking. I like woodworking. Woodworking was fun. I really wish I honed in on that for like a trade or something. Honestly, that might be something I do in my elderly years. When I'm like 50 and maybe go back either to the folks' farm or get a farm of my own, inshallah, because we all know the housing market nowadays is insane, even for a first responder. Oh, housing market's insane. Gotta get out of the renting game at some point. But when I have my little Stardew, oh, he polymorphed me. What? Oh, no, get back here. Oh, no. Of course you would reset. You polymorphed and then you decided to run off. Dude, you don't get away with that. The last time I was polymorphed, good sir, the last time I was in ZG. And that was not fun times. That wasn't fun at all. Well, one day when I am able to get my little Stardew Valley home, so to speak, I got chickens and dogs and all that fun stuff again. Maybe a barn cat. Barn cats are cool. Maybe rabbits again too. Rabbits are cool. I could just have like peace and quiet because I love gardening. Gardening is super cool. When you do everything from the seed to the plate, you get to see the whole entire process, see the crops grow and everything. Y'all ever drank tea out of mason jars before? I might be alienating myself here a little bit, but y'all ever experienced fresh tea out of a mason jar? Like the jars, like not the big ones, but like the ones you can hold in one hand and stuff. I'm telling you, there's nothing better, man. Us country folk, we know how to live. Nothing against city folk either. Nothing against y'all. Plenty of times have I been to multiple cities, including New York. Gotta walk on an angle on the sidewalks in New York, otherwise you can't get anywhere. Fun little tip. Slaughtering the trolls, man. Well, the Amani trolls. It's gonna be fun times getting to see this scourge again too. Because it's like, I wonder how the pathing for Blood Elf is once we get done with the Ghostlands. Like, do they take us? Because my thought is we're gonna go to the Undercity after we complete the Ghostlands. I think we're gonna go back to Silvermoon for a sec, then we're gonna go to the Undercity, and from that point, I imagine the path is gonna diverge and maybe give us maybe give us the option. Do we go to the hero? Like, what is it called? The quest line? I think it's called Hero's Call. I think, where you can pretty much like create your own story with the character, especially in Chromie time. Polymorphed again, goodness, and I'm a chicken. Nice. Sucks to suck though, my friend. Because I imagine they would give us the option to do Silvermoon, or sorry, Silverpine, Silvermoon, Silverpine Forest, or
It's too far.
Hillsbrad, maybe Hillsbrad. I think Hillsbrad would be pretty cool to see in the past. Get to see how Hillsbrad was during the Cataclysm, even though the Horde basically owns it. Those mines on the south west side, the southwest corridor, where all the humans were. Yeah, we took them over. And then maybe invest some time into the Plaguelands, especially as a paladin. There's some things, as much as I hate going to the Plaguelands for any reason, that might be on the table too. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate the Plaguelands. I detest it. Eastern Plaguelands isn't too bad. Western Plaguelands is where it's like, it's just the feeling of being there. It's just like, oh gosh. Like, why am I here? This is a drag. But who knows? Maybe in the Cataclysm era, it's fun. And I'm sure we'll be able to fly all throughout the zone too, so we can kind of speed things up. I'm sure there's a major amount of rework in that area specifically that I'm probably going to be excited for, and especially Silverpine. Like, Silverpine's probably awesome, like even more awesome. All right, Far Striders went ahead and complete all these quests. We can go ahead and turn these in one by one. Maybe even ding level 22.
Farewell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna ding 22 for sure.
Glory to the Sindorai. Keep your wits about you.
Cat Lords, Hexers, you got it. Who's this? Yeah, may as well do that, right?
Victory lies ahead. Death to all who oppose us. We will pursue.
Okay, you're good, and
We
Captain.
will have justice. Remember the
/ salute, Captain.
The reckoning is at hand.
Troll kickers, that's funny. All right, team 22. Everything goes according to plan. We should be 30 before we leave this area.
Beware the living.
Here's your Juju, Mr. Apothecary.
Our time will come.
I don't believe the Juju is a part of the plague process that would eventually be used. Could be wrong though. The apothecaries, man, they're some crazy. Listen, for as much as the Forsaken get absolutely crudded on occasions, I feel like they're some of the smartest people. I mean, think about what they had to do. You know what I mean? Like, think about what they had to do to deal with the Scourge that was like right there all that time. But then again, I'm biased. I mean, I'm a horror player, primarily. I like that. Vino right there was like, disgusting. That's why anytime, like, Brother of Oklahoma, shout outs to you, anytime you mention like all these disgusting horde and everything, I think you mean the Scourge, my friend. I'll agree with you there. The Scourge is a disgusting bunch. Absolutely filthy, that should be completely eradicated off of the face of Azeroth. I will agree with you any day of the week, but not with the Horde. Not with the Horde. The Horde is way more diverse, obviously. Obviously, jokes. All good jokes. Slaughter some wildlife. Let's go ahead and get this this quest done, and then I'm thinking maybe go to the coastline, because we're still working on the inner part of the Ghostlands, or the mid part, we still gotta traverse south. Killing all of these bats reminds me of like Golbat or Crobat from the from Pokemon. One of my favorite Pokemon ever is definitely Crobat. My favorite, however, believe it or not, is Starmie. Starmie is my absolute favorite. Starmie, Gardevoir, Gengar, all that stuff. What's y'all's? If y'all have a favorite Pokemon, what's y'all's? I'd be curious to know. I really like how some parts of the Ghostlands, it gets like brighter. Like look at this. The level of detail this zone has in the transition is so smooth. It's like if I ever was in game development, that's one thing I'd like the environmental storytelling and just the environmental
I need a target.
crafting. I don't know what the specific term would be, but that's one element of like video game development and that I would just love to be a part of, is the environmental storytelling, because you can tell so much with an environment alone. Looking ahead at the Amani Trolls little area over there on the left, and looking at the stone pillars and everything reminds me of Spawn the Eternal on the PS1 and the little details that were in that game. Not a good game by any stretch of the imagination, but one realm in particular had a lot of good, medieval realm especially had a lot of good environmental stuff in it, like just little details and such. It's the little things that I pay attention to. Just the little things. All right. Got the cat lords. Gosh, we must have faced at least like three different sets of trolls here. Three different like sets of groups. We went to the catacombs, then we went upward to a different campsite, And now we're here. It's like 3 different sets of these guys. You're fighting the Beastmasters, you're fighting this one, you're fighting this one. It's all the same. It's just one with pets, one without pets, one's spellcaster, one's not spellcaster. You know what would be fun? I would love to see in maybe a future expansion of World of Warcraft, I would love to see a Puppet Master styled class. Like we got hunters, which are kind of like Beastmasters, I guess, for like Final Fantasy, coinciding with Final Fantasy, but I would love to see like a Puppet Master. Like we have Monk in this game, right? Well, let's amplify that. Let's take it up a notch. Let's give Monk with a partner of some kind. And when I'm talking like Puppet Master, I'm talking like Final Fantasy XI's Puppet Master. Let's go with the badass version. Dang it, polymorphed again. Luckily, I'm okay. But catch me polymorphed in Zul'Farrak. Tell you how many wipes I had. It's like, oh, there goes the mage. He's polymorphed. Not a good time. The tank just looks back towards me as he's like as we're getting ready to wipe, and everyone just starts staring my direction or calls out the name, calls out, oh, Malakal, gosh, again. On Discord, it's fun times, man. But this community's polymorphed again. Here we go. I don't like to be a little chicken, my friend. Have a hammer for your troubles. But I really like, I mean, the community here is really developing. Like for the channel wise, I think it's developing and it's growing, and I'm trying to do everything I can to nurture it a little bit. Hopefully y'all feel that. I hope. Like I said, there's a lot that I have planned. It's just a matter of getting there. So, needless to say, I got a lot of work ahead of me. Took a little break there. May not seem like it, but took a little break just to get a quick snig of tea. Quick little few sips and whatnot. Tea really helps. Tea with honey helps the throat, especially with like long form videos like this. Do I drink coffee? Just in case, if any of y'all are wondering, yes I do. Tim Hortons primarily. Tim Hortons, but I can go Colombian. I can go for a few different ones. There's a few brands in particular that I tend to clamor to, but especially while gaming, I think tea is just better. Just nice to have something a little bit more, not to say coffee is a natural, but something that's just a little bit more easier, especially on the vocal cords. I had to do it. I had to do it at least once. Turn around, started running. I'm just staring like, all right, well, I'll give you a head start, but you're not going far. So a few more. Shit, I think these last two, and we can wrap it up in this area finally. Off to the frying pan and into the fire. The few specific ones that I still need to hunt. Goodness. The good news is we take care of all these Amani, these Shadowpine trolls. We take care of all this now and we won't have to touch them in the next episode. Promise. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So typically how a lot of these zones go, it's like you get a lot of the boring stuff done first. At least you try to, like, get the boring stuff out of the way first and then try to save, like, the cooler stuff, like the cooler quests that chain into the cooler stuff. Try to do that. And then we get to see a lot of get to do a lot of more fun stuff. And there's this big chief. Let's go ahead and take care of his compadre right here. And we'll hit up the chief. And then we'll get out of here. How many times have I been polymorphed this episode? I want to say that's like the 8th time. Oh, he's totally gonna aggro him. And he clipped through. Nice. I have been told multiple times, good sir, that from multiple different trolls of different tribes, y'all would have my head. Turns out that never happens like that. Never works like that. It's a little bit more now. And done. Not going to go ahead and pick up the heavy short bow. I'm really not going to use it. Look at how many quests we have to turn in. All of our hard work is indeed paying off. Oh, I can't jump. I can't jump from there. Okay, we'll go ahead in the short way. Whew, I know this episode was long. I know we really just focus primarily on the trolls and whatnot. So my apologies that if at any point in time this video got boring or this episode got a little bit redundant. Trust me, we're definitely going to diversify it the more and more we delve further into the Ghostlands. Trust. Oh, here we go. Talk about diversifying. Night elves. I'm not ready to focus on y'all just yet, but we'll be here. Oh, they're oh my goodness. Oh, they're totally going after me. Nice. Managed to avoid them though, so that's good. I know we're going to be going back there for them. We're going to have spiders. We're going to have to hunt. We got still a lot to do here. So bear with me, y'all. Like I said, get through a lot of the boring stuff first. The fun stuff comes later. Especially with how we did this episode in particular. But I sincerely want to thank everybody if y'all made it this far into the video. Sincerely, I really cannot showcase more of my appreciation other than just saying it. And that may not be much, but truthfully, I sincerely appreciate everybody's time here. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the episode. No, it's a long one. We'll definitely have some more fun stuff coming up. Again, well, look at the gates that are right up there. The fun stuff's coming. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Good old Scourge. Ugh. Hate seeing y'all. Hate seeing the frickin' Scourge. But I really appreciate everybody here. I hope y'all are gonna have a wonderful, wonderful week. See if we can get a few spiders here. May as well start them while we're here. Looks like this is gonna be the trail that leads into one of the more clustered areas for the mobs. But I think on the next episode, ooh, gnolls. Gosh, I can never escape you guys. It's like no matter how many times gnolls and kobolds, I can't escape you guys. You guys are everywhere in like every single zone. Makes me wish somebody eradicated you. Somebody would just like eradicate y'all. Like after losing, what was his name? Why am I'm gonna kick myself because what was his name? Help me out here, y'all. Main old guy. He basically used to tear every player up on the Alliance zone over in Elwyn Forest. Starts with an H, and then he goes into he's a boss in the Dead Mines. Why? I'm gonna kick myself because I'm kicking myself right now. But yeah, I think like after y'all lost your leader, or at least your leader at the time, considering he went to jail and everything, not in the Dead Mines, I'm sorry, Stockade. You think you guys would have settled down by now and learned the lesson, but of course not. Oh, these are the nasty looking spiders too. I'd much rather have the furry dudes and have to deal with them, like the ones in Stone Talon. Here, it's like you're dealing with the real nasty ones that would look like they would have a real nasty bite too. But it looks like in the next episode, we're going to be able to like turn in all these quests. And it looks like we might be dealing with the Scourge a little bit sooner than I thought. Scourge, we got some Murlocs on the coast, and I still need to find Sylvanas' pendant. So we're definitely going to be dealing with some undead, especially on the northern, no, wouldn't be the northern, southern part, the southernmost part of the Death Scar, leading straight into a zone of the unknown. Actually, a zone of the land where nobody goes. We're gonna be the only ones trudging forward and getting to see Mr. Batty over there plotting the downfall of Silvermoon City. So we're gonna be able to stop him. Heading in now for Quest Turn In. It's been a phenomenal. I think it's been a great success. Again, just trudging through a lot of the more boring stuff. Definitely getting into the more fun stuff coming up. I sincerely appreciate everybody's patience in that regard. But yeah, looks like in the night we're going to go ahead and turn in all these quests, definitely ding level 23. And with that, I'm going to call it here for commentary. I'm going to let the rest of the video kind of play out, get the OST in there, let the game speak for itself.
Sun guides us.
Great job today, team. Awesome work.
Farewell.
Look at that.
Keep your wits about
Speaking into existence, y'all.
Remember the sun well.
Thank y'all so much for your time. Please have a wonderful and safe work week ahead. If y'all think I've earned it, go ahead and toss the video a like if you've enjoyed it, as well as maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Again, only if I have earned it. I'm on a mission to earn every single like, comment, subscription, doesn't matter. It's a big, World of Warcraft is a huge community, and I'm just doing my part to try to learn more about the game, Azeroth, and really learn and grow as a player, regardless of the class that I'm playing. But more episodes to come. Got the Warrior series still going on as well. Go ahead and check that out if that interests you. And we'll be back with another episode in Vlera's journey. Got the Scourge. Got the trinket we need to go find, and got a whole bunch of follow-up quests. We're planning for our eventual assault on the Scourge. And looks like we're going to be heading down to the coastline. Should be fun. Take care, everybody. Thank y'all so much for y'all's time. And please, be safe, and see you in Azeroth. Take care, everybody.
I have one-of-a-kind items. We will have justice.
Glory to the Sindorai. Time is of the essence.
Speak quickly. Beware.